Hello and welcome everyone on this channel Poetry. We are starting a new series especially for students preparing for Cambridge IGCSE Biology paper 0610 and 0970. In this series we will cover the entire syllabus of biology paper 0610 that will cover the core as well as supplement syllabus of the exam. It will help students preparing for IGCSE Biology paper that will be conducted in 2023, 2024 and 2025 as the Cambridge has released the syllabus for these 3 years. So let's start our today's topic of discussion, that is topic 16, reproduction. And the first topic of the unit is 16.1, that is asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction. This is 16.1 topic, asexual reproduction. Before starting this, we will try to understand the meaning of reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process of producing similar or almost similar species by a organism. So we can say reproduction is a process of producing similar or almost similar species by organism, because it is a tendency of every living organism, to increase its number. And how can the organism increase its number? By the process of reproduction. So we can see here, it is a process of producing offsprings, the newborns, new individuals which are produced by the process of reproduction are called offsprings. Also, no organism can live forever, so it increases its number by reproduction. Now, reproduction can be of two types. An organism can reproduce by two methods, asexual and sexual. Asexual method is without involving sexual activity, while sexual method involves sexual activity. There are some other differences also between asexual and sexual reproduction. So let's understand what are the features of asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is without sex or without sex cells. It does not involve the formation of gametes. No formation of gametes in asexual reproduction, as gametes do not form, so it does not involve fertilization. No fertilization, no involvement of gametes. It involves only one parent. Only one parent is capable of producing new organism. As there is no mixing of gametes and the one parent is capable of producing the entirely new organism, so the new organism will be identical to the parent. And identical in what terms? Morphologically plus genetically. The new organism is genetically and morphologically similar to parent. So we can say in asexual reproduction, new individual or offspring is entirely similar to its parent. Entirely similar to parents. Okay. So what are the features of asexual reproduction? Let's see again. It does not involve the formation of gametes. Without gametes, there is no fertilization. This is the second point. It involves only one parent, and the parent that will produce the organism will be genetically identical to the parent. So these are the four features of the asexual reproduction. So in the syllabus, it is given that we have to understand the definition of the asexual reproduction and some examples related to asexual reproduction. So what we can write in the definition of asexual reproduction? It is a process of producing genetically identical offspring from one parent. What are the important 2 points in this definition? Genetically identical and one parent. These are the 2 important points that should always be present in the definition of asexual reproduction. Now let's see some of the examples of asexual reproduction. The most famous example of asexual reproduction is we can see in bacteria. Bacteria reproduce by cell division or by binary fission. So let's take a bacterial cell and see what happens in this. This is the DNA. This is the cell wall of the bacteria, and this is, we can say, cell membrane. What happens in bacteria? After every 20 minutes, the parent cell starts dividing into daughter cells. Its DNA gets duplicated by the process of replication, and the parent cell divides into 2 daughter cells. And the parent cell loses its originality because this cell divided into 2 new cells. These are the 2 daughter cells. One parent cell forms 2 daughter cells by the process of binary fission. This we can see in bacteria. So it is the method of asexual reproduction because it involves only one parent cell and it does not involve the mixing of gametes. Single bacterial cell simply divides into 2 and each cell becomes independent. These 2 daughter cells become independent and they can again divide into 2 new daughter cells. So bacteria replicates very fastly. This we have discussed that single bacterial cell divides after every 20 minutes. So this is example of asexual reproduction in bacteria. Let's see some other examples also. So in fungi, Asexual reproduction occurs through spores. Fungi like Penicillium, mucor, mushroom, toadstools, bracket fungi, and puffballs. These are all examples of fungi in which asexual reproduction occurs through spores. In fungi, sexual reproduction also occurs, but in asexual reproduction, it occurs through spores, which are haploid in nature. That is, they contain half number of chromosomes. What is haploid? We will discuss in more detail in sexual reproduction. For now, you have to remember that in fungi, asexual reproduction occurs through haploid spores. Now we can see asexual reproduction in plants. The asexual reproduction in plants is termed as vegetative propagation. This is important. You have to remember this, that in plants, asexual reproduction is termed as vegetative propagation. We don't use the term asexual reproduction for plants. We use the term vegetative propagation. In plants, what happens? The lateral bud that is close to ground transforms into a complete new plant. And what are the methods of vegetative propagation in plants? That is stolon or runner, rhizome, bulb, or corm. Stolon or runner is found in strawberry or creeping buttercup. What happens in strawberry is the lateral bud, which is close to the ground, grows horizontally and develops roots, and after some time it produces new plant. So this horizontal elongation of the lateral bud of the strawberry plant is called runner. It is a method of vegetative propagation because it produces entirely new plant when the original or parent plant dies. It is called stolon or runner. Next is rhizome, which is a method of reproduction in couch grass. Next is bulb, that is found in daffodil, and corm, that is found in crocuses and anemones. This is the example of bulb, this is corm, and this is couch grass. This is the rhizome growing. It will form a new plant. It forms a new plant here also, and it will form a new plant here also. This stem grows under the ground. This is the bulb of the daffodil, or in onion also bulb is found. Vegetative propagation can be seen in bryophyllum. What we see in bryophyllum is, on the leaf margins of bryophyllum, new plantlets emerge. New plantlets develop. This is the leaf of bryophyllum, and in its leaf margins, new plant develops, and these plants detach from the original leaf and develop into new plants. So this is the method of asexual reproduction in bryophyllum. Leaf producing new plantlets on the margin of the leaf. Next is tubers. Tubers are found in potato. A potato is the stem modification that stores starch. This is the example of potato tuber. And potato also, you have seen in the old potato, it develops some whitish scars on the potato. These are called eyes or bud, and they are capable of producing new plant. Capable of producing new plant. So in potato, tubers and these eyes or buds are also the methods of asexual reproduction. So what we have studied till now in plants, the stolons, runner, let me change the color of the pen, the stolons, rhizomes, bulbs, corms, bryophyllum leaflets, tubers. These are all methods of vegetative propagation, or we can say these are natural methods. Natural methods of propagation. Artificially, we can also propagate plants. And how we can do this? By cuttings, stem cuttings, by growing stem cuttings. We can see in it in rose plant. If we plant the stem cutting of the rose plant, a new plant will develop from this cutting. And the methods of tissue culture is the most important method of artificial propagation in plants. So these are all the examples of asexual reproduction in plants. Now let's see one of the most famous example of asexual reproduction in animals, that is Hydra. So now what happens in Hydra? This is the column of the Hydra, and these are called tentacles. Some of the cells of the column rapidly divides and they form a bulge on the column. Bulge, or we can say bud. After some time, this bud increases in size and develop tentacles. Later, these tentacles increases in size and attach themselves to the ground, and the daughter Hydra, this is the daughter Hydra, and the daughter Hydra detaches completely from the parent Hydra and becomes an independent Hydra. This is the parent Hydra and it is the daughter Hydra. So it's a method of asexual reproduction by the production of bud or bulge. Okay, so this is an example of Hydra. That's all for today. In the next lecture, we will discuss sexual reproduction. Keep learning, keep practicing. Thank you.